Hey, Jesus, what'd you do today?
Hey, lol, I went to work.
Nerd. Welcome to the ManChilding is Hard podcast, episode 2. I have with me a good friend that I met working at a music store, and he drives a really poshy car. We'll get into that. He's a gigantic man-child, though, just like myself. We kind of bonded over, guitar pedals?
Guitar pedals, gear, anything dark,
Yeah,
sad.
Dark and sad. He's my sad boy buddy. But I'm probably going to butcher his last name. But Jesus, may I give you, without further ado, Jesus Aquilar.
Good enough. Aquilar.
Oh, cool. It's a G sound.
Aguilar stands for, in Spanish, fuck you, just if you didn't know.
Oh, fantastic.
So, just so you guys know. Actually stands for eagle, so that's why I live here in America. Yay.
Yeah, it'd be better if it was Falcon. Moving on. That's enough about you. This is my podcast. So we are just going to I got some questions, and we're going to get to know Jesus here a little bit. Definitely one of the first real people that I actually kind of started hanging out with that when I worked at the store, because it's just not cool to hang out with customers. It's just the way it is. But occasionally a cool one walks in, and you're the first guy I hung out with outside of that place for sure, or at least would basically waste time and chit chat with.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So tell us. We'll open it up with some questions just to kind of get to know you a little bit better. Why are you?
So I was given life without my choice. Nobody asked. So anytime your parents ask, if I can take your life, please go ahead. If they say I brought you in this world, take you out, go ahead. I have asked for 29 years and it hasn't happened yet. So I'm making the best, playing music, buying music gear, and that's pretty much it. Everything else is boring.
Let's rephrase that. Buying gear at an alarming rate.
Yes, very much so.
He's one of the few people I know that goes toe-to-toe with me for our musical gear purchases. We're always swapping it out. We're always getting new guitars, new pedals. Yeah. So I would say basically the point of this podcast kind of is we can look at each other too. We don't have to stare at the camera because that's dumb. But it's like we are. I am a 30-something man-child. I'm on the wrong side of 30. I'm headed towards 40. And one of the things is I kind of realize is I'm just a fantastic, silly bastard most of the time. And I really kind of, I'm always trying to keep that spark alive, of just being, silly and having fun and doing things that make me happy, especially in this horrible dark world we live in just right now. And it's just it's nice to kind of have an escape. So my next question to you, and by the way to just roll right with the weird opening question. That was great. But what do you do to keep that inner kind of, child alive and be fantastic always?
So I'm extremely competitive, basically. For example, I've got a 9-year-old brother. I'm 29, and he thinks he may be good at a certain video game or something. I might let him win a couple times, but then my ignorant rage kicks in.
You gotta put him down. You gotta show him who the adult is. Yeah,
I make him feel good, really good. And I asked him,
just
you
take
think
it all
you're
away.
good? He said, yeah, I can do it, and shut him down in tears. That's pretty much it.
Picking on children. Picking on children under 10. Let's be very specific.
We gotta put a range for that.
What else? What else do you do to keep yourself happy?
Well, you probably know, just playing music, buying gear. It's a never-ending quest. Every time I think I've got the one piece that's going to complete it, there's always something else. I
often ask myself, I stare at the sky, and I'm like, God, when will my thirst be quenched? And it never is. So, it just never is. So you play in a band. What's the name of that band?
I play in Sasquatch Boom. We're a southern hardcore metal band.
Yes, they are fantastic. I've actually seen you guys.
Thank you.
I've listened to your stuff. Maybe I contributed to like the $5 you made on the Bandcamp. But okay, so you play in a band. I know that's kind of like I played in a band as well, and like one of the things that's happened over the whole COVID thing is that live music just doesn't happen like nearly at least to the degree. I know you guys played a few shows.
Yeah, there was a handful that we had.
Wasn't over the east side?
Yeah, it was over on east side, and there was, I mean, even beforehand, there was less than 20 people there anyways, but it still helps out, you know, and just your friends and family who kind of care or don't care, whatever, and then the drunk guy. Swear to God, the owner, we were then there working and just getting ready to set up, and he hires some guy off the street to deep fry our food this one night, just out of the blue. Said, hey, can you fry? Sure. There was a guy in there. Never met him. Probably made like $50 that night. Maybe.
Fantastic. You know, I've played at this particular venue. The last time we played it, we packed it out, and we're just a little bit farther down the line. You guys we're kind of just getting kind of rolling right.
We started like right at COVID. We played one show before COVID, and then the whole shutdown and like one or two handful shows.
Yeah, mine's pretty much been on a hiatus for the most part, though. We are starting to gear back up.
Cool.
Oh yeah, and it's cool, especially with all these avenues that I have now, with like the pedal boards of doom, and you know, launching my own channel and this podcast and stuff, and just the fact that I pretty much, you know, part of my job is videography, so I have like really great videography equipment. So it seems like a waste to not, you know, use it to my own devices.
Oh, that beer's good.
Wrong pipe. Story of your life. So yeah, but it's like the music scene is really just it's kind of I'm hoping that it kind of goes back to some semblance of normal, but the normal is one of like what is going to be new normal, but with me, it's the reason I have quested so hard, especially in the last year, to do things for myself that make me happy. Like I've been building like Lego sets and playing like video games and creating stuff, because you know me, I just like to make songs up and do that. So that's like my hobby. It's how I hang out. So that's what I've been doing to kind of put off what's coming. But I feel like there's going to be like an explosive resurgence of live music.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like by the end, I'm guessing by the end of the year, and I'm going to be ready for it. I know you're going to be ready for it. I just know you well enough to be like, yeah, he's going to be ready for it too. But yeah, I'm going to come out swinging, because people are going to be hungry. People are going to be hungry for it. And we were kind of getting some stuff, and maybe I can pump the gas, you know, with the internet crap for a little bit, and you know, kind of get the build up and the following back up. But like that's where I'm at. So like another question I had for you was when you were younger, when did you start like playing like music?
I was probably 13 going on maybe 14, and honestly I just found a CD in my dad's old work truck, popped it in, and it happened to be The Offspring.
Which one?
It was the Americana.
Oh,
Americana.
Okay.
So that
Not
was
the
my
best
first.
Offspring.
That was,
like it's
my favorite is a tie between Smash and Ixnay on the Ombre. It's up to those two for me.
Mine's Smash.
Smash is so
Smash
good,
is
man.
just
Front
visceral.
to back,
Yeah, it's just visceral.
raw. It's energetic. But that was my first thing, and then shortly from there, I got into Nirvana. My old man had like those little leather books with different discs and stuff. So I just popped in Nevermind, and I said, "Wow, I want a guitar for my birthday," and went to Sam Goody at the mall when it was a thing. Seen a blue Squire Bullet. Said, "Cool, that looks like Kurt's guitar. I'm gonna buy it." right then and there.
Yeah, you've seen the first guitar that I bought myself. It's the Kurt Cobain signature Fender from the 90s.
Very jelly, very nice.
Yeah, did you do like, okay, so you started playing guitar. Did you haunt music stores?
Not at first. I was very caveman-esque, just because the first thing I was doing, my old man made me a 2-wire split cable to go into his stereo system, so I didn't even have a guitar amplifier for
That's actually
3
more
months.
common than you'd think.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And so I did it that way for a little bit, and then I got a PV something from a pawn shop that made like firecracker noise because it was a POS, and just from there.
You got to take the good and the bad with PV. PV, if you would like to send me money, my name is Lowell George Grunoff. Checks can be made out to cash. I actually really like PV gear. Some of my when I was a kid, but I think I'm like about 10 years older than you. When I was a kid, it was the 90s. And one of the things, and I kind of grew up in the sticks in the middle of nowhere, one of the things you could always get your hands on was like big PV amplifiers for nothing, right? They were good, solid amps to kind of get you through till you got something, worth it. But one of the, I played in the first band I was in, the guy had a 5150 block letter combo, which is a turbo amp. You know what I mean? Like that wrecked me. As soon as I heard the 5150, it was over, man. Like, so mad shout out to PB for doing that. I've got a couple block letters, I currently play the EVH 5150 stuff. And, I know you have as well. But like, it's my jam. So yeah, PV did make some garbage, but they also made some solid offerings. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this one was probably a bad example. It was their old TransTube series.
I had a Bandit for a while. Yeah, it was garbage, dude.
It took pedals okay, and then that's kind of, honestly, from there, I started buying pedals. My first pedal was a Washburn Lion distortion pedal. I got it at Sears for like $50.
Josh Scott loves those.
Well, I think you've seen my wah pedal. It's a Washburn Lion wah pedal.
Yeah,
I got it in a trade. It maybe retails for $20, maybe, and it is, to me, the wah pedal for me.
That's fun. My first pedal was a Green Russian Big Muff, the big green ones that come in the box. I still have the box. Josh. Josh. He's not watching this, but I still have the box. Because it came in the wood crate with the Russian stuff. And a Vox wah. I bought. We pretty much got them on the same day. Weirdly enough, those are two pedals that are always on my pedal board. In fact, if you ripped everything away, if you boiled it down to just like, if I could have like two pedals, it wouldn't be the wah. I do have a wah because there's just some stuff that a wah does that is handy. It would be my Digitech Whammy and my Green Big Muff, and like you could literally take everything else away, and I could play through your dad's stereo system with a wide cable.
Whammy one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I've had every incarnation of the Whammy, and the Whammy one, they nailed it. Like the Whammy one is cool, but the Whammy 2 definitely, they took it up because you could switch the modes with switches and stuff. It was
cool.
Yeah, it just wasn't built as well. I just absolutely love those. In your opinion, do you think the days of face-to-face music sales are coming to an end?
I don't think so, no. Especially for me personally, it's tough to want to buy and try something online because you get so many different...
I think that's going to be the saving grace.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be the saving grace. Having worked in a music store and basically tying this kind of back into the podcast is like, this is where we buy our toys. Essentially, This is like our toy store. And one of the things that you're kind of seeing is like these internet giant companies that are kind of like rising up because... people are doing more stuff online. They don't want to leave the house, or they're under order not to leave the house. It's kind of a wacky world out there. So who would really want to leave sometimes for real?
Yeah,
and then like, you're just seeing like a lot of face-to-face like sales kind of going. And one of the things that I feel like is going to happen is like, we're kind of seeing the twilight of the brick and mortar stores, and I'm not talking just like music stores, but I'm just saying in general. I just feel like the small business person with the brick and mortar store is just like, that's something that's like, this is like the end of the dinosaur age, like this is we're doing it for the dinosaurs.
You got to adapt, or you're gonna get hit by a meteor. I mean, that's basically it.
Well, I had a wise man once said to me, you either got to get behind, or you either got to get on board with change or get ran over by it.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So you gotta that's what I kind of see coming, but like, it's just sad because like I grew up in a music store.
Yeah.
Like, there was a music store right down the street from my house. It was called Zumwalt's Music Shop, and then it changed to Whitey's Music Shop because this gentleman named Whitey Diamond. His real name is Timothy, but he's one of the greatest people I've ever known. But he took it over, and I would hang out in there. I mean, he actually encouraged it. It was really cool. Like, we'd all hang out and jam and work on stuff. Experience. I learned a lot of stuff. He hooked me up with. He always hooked me up. Like when I came back from Las Vegas, I had moved to Las Vegas and I came back kind of tail tucked between my legs. He hooked me up with a rig, like a legit rig, dude. And he sold to me for nothing. Like a Gibson Les Paul and a Marshall Plexi.
Wow.
For like $400.
Oh, man.
And then I went and found a cab for like $200. And that's basically what I used in like the first band that it actually did anything was a Marshall Plexi.
Dang.
On a 412 and a Gibson Les Paul Studio, like a Alpine white one with the ebony fretboard, and it's sexy. It's no longer with us, but
hot to heavy to sad.
I know I'm always keeping my eyes out because the second I see one of those pop up, I will impulse buy that I will impulse buy it. Like El Rapido, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it will happen. So now we come to I asked this. I'm going to pretty much ask this of every guest, but what do you want to be when you grow up?
If I could be anything that I would want to be when I grow up, and there's no financial things.
There's no parameters. No parameters on this question. Like this is like the dream. What do you want to be when you grow up?
Honestly, I want to be a mortician, so I can leave little notes with bodies, just to upbeat somebody's day. Like, yeah, your dad's dead, but here's a flower. Have a nice day.
How does that upbeat their day? What is the factor? Like, question. I have questions.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
What is an upbeat? How do you upbeat somebody's day?
Well, I mean, this shouldn't be too hard. They're just lost somebody, right? So I figured just something nice, like, hey, there's an ice cream shack down the road. They're having a sale tomorrow.
You gonna give them some Rocky Road? Kiss their boo-boo?
I'm adding salt to the wound.
No, I actually know a couple, actually two morticians, strangely enough. It's something I considered doing, and then I just realized that I didn't have the personality for it. I was really good with people. Like I was really good. I can be pretty. You know this. I've talked to me, and it's one of the reasons I was a good salesperson too. Is the fact that I can empathize and I can when I talk to someone, it's like you're the only person there. You know, like, and I really try to focus on what you're saying and not just wait to say something.
Yeah.
So like that part of the gig wasn't bad, but it was just it's a hard job. It's a harder job than you think. But you know that's you should do it. I think you would actually excel at it. Like heavy metal mortician.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Just blasting music all day, and if the bodies move or jump, then I'm ready for it. Like, oh, you dig the tunes? Right on. Then I'll make a note based off that. Like, hey, your grandpa likes He Is Legend or Maylene, and you should check him out.
Yeah, by the time they get to the mortician, more times than not, they're like long dead. If they're still moving, they got problems.
Well, yeah, I'll deal with it as we go then.
Yeah, you might get something better than a little pen. You get something heavier than a pen and pad. And so since you're really into guitar pedals, how many guitar pedals would you say that you own?
At this current moment, at least probably 25, 25. I'm going to say 30 because I got a couple lent out. There's a couple at my brother's house and my friend's house.
Oh, yeah. Yes. We'll get to your brother after the break. His brother is muy excelente character too, who I will forever refer to as Bucho Caliente. No, he's a cool dude. We'll talk about him. Now, to add to that, how many guitar pedals would you say that you own? Have owned in toto? And this is a ballpark figure, man. Like, I couldn't tell you the answer.
Oh, man, probably I'd say high 60s, easily.
High 60s, okay. Mm-hmm. On average, how much do these guitar pedals cost per unit?
They're at least $100, sometimes $200. I got a couple that are
I would say average like 200.
Yeah.
Then you get nutty. So... yeah, I would definitely say you're a certified man-child at this point. Yeah, dude, that's like, I can't even tell you. Like, I don't even have a number or an idea of a number. It's big.
Oh, man.
I have a tendency when I descend from the sky and I land on things really hard. You know, like I don't, it's no half-ass for me. It is full ass all the way. Like it's just how I don't know why. It's just how I'm wired. Like if I get into something, I get really into it.
Go deep down the hole.
I go deep down the hole, but I like one of the things that I really enjoy about guitar pedals is basically for like the layperson that's listening to this, they're like sound toys. And the thing is like even at $200 a pop, $100, $200, whatever. It's like inspiration, like in a box.
Yes.
Like it takes you to different places. It's like for readers buying a new book. It just takes you to new places and makes you explore things in a different way and approach. And it can alter your playing. I just recently picked up a pedal that I've been wanting for a while, and I've been putting it off. I actually think I tried to like talk your brother out of his, but I bought an Afterneath, like it's an Earthquaker Devices Afterneath, and it was. Because I had a sound in my head, and I wanted to do this really desolate, like rockabilly, like with diminished chords, and really just out there. But I wanted to have that out there-ness to it. Yeah, and that pedal definitely did it. It's the same day I bought the Lego pirate ship that I built, which is stupid cool too. It's cool. Yeah, it's right up there. I'm looking at it right now. You can't see it. You don't get to see it. Go to my Instagram page, like and subscribe, you scum.
That is cool. My 9-year-old brother would dig that. Absolutely would love it.
I know your 9-year-old brother as well.
He would totally dig it.
Yeah, he's kind of uppity. Yeah, he's a little surly. Yeah, is that okay to say?
Absolutely.
Okay, I didn't like cross any like
not at
PC
all.
lines.
He might take it personal, come see you, but
no, he wouldn't. No, I flip him shade all the time. Like, and he rolls with the punches like a future man-child. One of the cool ideas that I was thinking about doing for this was I was going to try to get kicked out of a go-kart track place. Yeah, I think we're gonna do that. I got some body mount cams.
That's pretty good.
Because we're gonna get like rough. Like it's gonna get rough.
Good.
I was gonna roll in there with like a posse. So I might give you a call. Like, hey, you want to come get thrown
that's
out
no
of
problem. I got some clothes that doesn't fit. That'll fit very tight. I'll go in there with not fitting clothes.
Nice. I've got some
go-karts too small.
It's gonna be basically we're not gonna do go-karts. We're gonna do bumper cars. So we're going to take a quick little break to hear from some of our lovely sponsors of the show. If you would like to sponsor this show, you can check out ManChilding is Hard on the internet, and you can donate there, or you can just send me checks made out to cash, and we will see you here in like 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Welcome to the ManChilding is Hard shameless self-promotion part of our program. Do you have lots of money and want to give it to us? Do you want to have your product advertised to tens of followers? Act now and get your very own ad placement thing in the middle of our programming. ManChilding is Hard, a podcast for the children scraping for dear life inside all of us. And we are back. I hope you enjoyed that fantastic ad of my own making for the service that whatever is giving me money. Well, I like to keep my options open. You know what I mean?
Right.
That
Variety.
advertising money might dramatically switch. So one of the cool things about doing music, for sure, is that all these soundscapes and stuff you get to play with, and there's a massive surge of like YouTube guitar players, but there's also a massive surge of signature gear. Now, for the uninitiated, signature gear is when a player has something made for them by a company that is custom. I've kind of dabbled in this, and I'm starting to dabble in it more. And but my question to you is that if you could have any pedal company build you a signature pedal, A, what company would it be? And B, what would it do?
So A, for the company, it's definitely going to be Fortin Amps in Canada.
Okay, yeah, Fortin. Okay,
those guys have just blown me away. As far as the pedal goes, it's definitely going to be a nasty 3 type of style pedal. It'd be a boost in the first stage, a overdrive about midway, and then a nasty wall of fuzz afterwards.
Okay, so you basically have built you a distortion pedal for all intents and purposes.
Yeah, to keep it simple, yep.
Yeah, okay. That's amazing. if it was going to be me, and I could have like any company build me a signature pedal, there's two. One's not really a company; it's just a friend of mine. Who his name is Brandon Shock of Shock Rock Pedals, and he builds the wildest stuff. It's just the most out there. It's decorated. He built one into like a ram's head fuzz replica in an actual like a replica of a ram skull.
Oh, nice.
Does some of his outworld, like he's just got a bunch of really cool pedals. He actually did. If you go to Pedal Boards of Doom and watch the Christmas special, it was actually one of his pedals that he made. It was called the Elven Eggplant, but I called it the Randy Elfman. Well, it's the pedal, and then it's got the legs coming out the bottom, and the switch is in the most inappropriate place you can imagine. And it was super cool, but like he just built some rad stuff. So, you know, and we might do something like that soon. We've actually talked about it a little bit. But if it was like a mainstream pedal company, it would definitely be Earthquaker Devices. They build the most fantastic stuff. I mean, like it's this, their stuff for me is perfect because it kind of walks this line between synthesizer stuff, which is another big thing I nerd out over, which we'll go and get into at some point. But they kind of walk the line between like synth effects and stuff. So like, think of any like wacky sound effect you've ever heard in your life, or think something that invokes pure joy, or like sprinkling fairy dust on you in some kind of magic kingdom. That's pretty much what Earthquaker does. From that to like the nastiest fuzz craziness. That's who I would definitely. But as far as what it would do, that's the question. One of the things that I really dig and have always digged are fuzz pedals for sure. But octave effects, octave fuzzes. Fuzzes are for me where it's at. I would like to have an octave fuzz with like a built-in like reverb setting.
Oh man, that'd be sick.
You know, or tremolo fuzz. Noise Kick Effects made the diabetes fuzz, which is super. I mean, yeah, it's got Wilford Brimley on the front, and his eyes light up red when you turn it on. And every time I hear it, I just go diabetes. Because that man was a marvel. But that's pretty much what I would do. Now, getting back to you have a brother who's, I would say, is kind of like a compatriot, kind of maybe a mirror image kind of version of yourself. You play in a band, you play in Sasquatch Boom with him. I know that. Yeah. What's the name? I know he has his own band. What's that one called?
The band that he plays in is actually called Stone Figure. It's him on lead guitar and our buddy Jesse, who actually plays drums for us in Sasquatch Boom, and he's also the singer and guitar player in Stone Figure. It's totally two different worlds. They're more of a shoegaze alternative type of deal.
I can imagine so.
Yeah, they're definitely talented in their own spectrum of that.
So, did you and your brother kind of get into like this at the same time?
He probably got into guitar maybe a year or two later after I did. And I remember he just kept having like a brain fart trying to learn stuff, and I showed him Smoke on the Water. Just that opening riff.
Yeah.
And that basically helped him over the wall, and that was it. From there, he's grown a lot.
Just pro tip, don't browbeat your music store employees with that. We get like music store employees get browbeat a lot with a lot of different riffs. And I'm all about jamming in like the music store environment for sure. You know, it's cool, it's a fun, it's kind of a rite of passage. I would say unless you're in a Guitar Center, be courteous. If you have been to a Guitar Center, you know what I'm talking about. If you work in a Guitar Center, woe is you, and you know what I'm talking about too. It's a different experience. Okay, so for the uninitiated, a Guitar Center, comparatively to like most music stores, there's varying degrees of music stores. You have the really kind of cool, grimy ones. We have one of the best examples of that here, like over in Portland, a store called Old Town Music. It's world famous. You should look it up. It's just a radical store.
Love that store.
Radical
Great
store.
Guys. Great place.
Yeah. The staff is really helpful, but they're also just surly enough to make you like feel like you're in a grimy music store, which I enjoy. I actually like that. But there's plenty. I mean, there's plenty of cool ones, and then you have like the ones that I worked at, where it was kind of like a highbrow music store, where a lot of their stuff is kind of more like band and orchestra and school kind of oriented and jazz oriented, and then you have like the guitar section. Though Beacock's kind of an enigma because they have like a very large guitar section, you know. And then you have like the Walmart of guitar stores, which is Guitar Center. And Guitar Center, if you'd like to send me money, checks can be made out to cash. It won't change anything, though. I'll still say the same stuff. I can be bought to a degree, but I will not be paid off. My principles cannot be paid off. There's certain parts of me that you can be bought, but like principles, like stuff that I'm principled about, cannot be paid for.
That's fair.
Yeah, you know, like no matter how, you could offer me an astronomical amount of money, and I'd be like, unless it's Bitcoin, I will not. My buddy got me obsessed with Bitcoin. Yeah. So I mean, it's just with the changing landscape. Are you feeling it like with your job? Has your job slowed down at all for like?
Not at all. It's skyrocketed, if anything.
Well, people are doing projects.
Exactly.
Tell everybody what you do.
So I work at a parts store called Chevs of the 40s here in town. We basically sell 30s, 40s, and 50s old school antique parts. It's super cool. I love the 50s Americana style stuff. The music, the artwork, the cars, the people are great. And yeah, that's what we do. I mean,
that's a nerd job. That's a job basically that you is patroned completely by ManChilding. These are people with like project cars that probably spend way too much money on them, but it makes them happy.
They buy our overpriced stuff and we all make money. That's how it works.
It makes them happy. Yeah. So, I mean, once again, this is kind of really one of the other reasons I wanted to, you know, because have you on the show is because you kind of do this anyway.
Yeah.
You know, you definitely have these things that you are very enthusiastic about, but you also, the patrons of your employment are also these people.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Same with me. It was like that for me up until like about a week ago. Will be 2 weeks ago by the time this airs. But like, you know, it was very different, and it's just it's a slightly different world. And you know, I'm such a nerd. I'm into like comic books, so I hang out at comic book stores. So I know I can speak comic book nerd-ese. I also hang out at record stores because I love vinyl. Like I love it, and I love like tactile music. You know what I mean? Like where you have like the CD in your hand, you have the tape in your hand, you have the vinyl in your hand. And I really like to listen to albums on the medium that they were intended to be heard on.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I have a first pressing of Ride the Lightning by Metallica.
No, it's cool.
And I've actually got to listen to that record as it was intended, the first mix.
Oh, cool.
The Megaforce mix.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it's super cool, but there's like a lingo there, which is super cool. And another thing I really like to do is buy toys. There is a fantastic toy shop in Portland called Dr. Tongues. And I'm actually, like, what's today? Like,
Obviously, you got enough time to go there real quick.
No, he's got very, very limited hours during COVID. So, like,
gotcha.
But I am going there this weekend. Like,
cool.
I'm going to make a pilgrimage. I got some money burning a hole in my pocket. And
That'd be the place.
I want some cool stuff. Plus, I want to be able to, like, have like all sorts of stuff like on the tables, and eventually like we're losing the backdrop and stuff, and we're gonna just deck this place out with cool stuff.
Oh, yeah.
In my tiny house. It's about the same size as your place.
Yeah,
it's maybe a little bit
work.
bigger.
We'll make it work for sure.
Yeah, he lives in a mobile home park, but it's actually pretty spacious. Was it like a double wide?
Ours is a single wide, but it's just me and my girl and my little brother, so there's plenty of room for everything. I have my own little room with all my gear sits in, so the dogs don't piss on any of it, luckily, anymore.
Yeah, dogs do that. Yeah, and this dude drives the most pimp car. Like, tell us what you drive.
It's a silver Lexus. It says Lexus on it. The windows go up and down with the press of one button.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
It's driven by thought. No, it's pretty boss looking car. I drive a like 2008 Toyota Tundra that looks like it's been to hell and back a few times. But you know what? It runs.
Yep.
And it's paid for.
Yep. There you go.
That's the two defining features of a car. I am actually pondering, speaking of man toys, I'm actually pondering getting a new car pretty soon. It's been a while since I purchased a vehicle, and I'm actually thinking about getting like either something cool that's old or something like stupid new.
Yeah.
There's a part of me that wants to have a fun car, preferably like a convertible. One of the things that my job is going to take me is I'm going to be traveling a lot, and if I'm traveling in the summertime, I'd like to be traveling, make it fun.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Top down road trips, pretty fun.
You can get a Geo Metro convertible, save on gas, have the top down. I got a buddy who drives one. He's 6'8". He's probably taller than the windshield frame when he puts it down.
No, thank you. No Geo Metros, no Subaru Justies. We did a tour once in a pair of Subaru Justies.
Oh, God.
I had my guitar cabinet tarped and tied to the top of the car. And then we had the drums crammed in. The seats were all the way forward, and we were driving hundreds and 1,000 miles. And we were going through this rough patch of kind of back road thing, and we were going too fast. And the car in front, the Subaru and Justy in front of us, there's these hills, right? And there's this hilly landscape, and they go right up over the top of the hill and just woof, and disappear. And me and the drummer I was playing bass in this band, and me and the drummer were driving behind him, and then we came up over the top of the hill, and they landed and just destroyed the back axle for all intents and purposes. Oh. The car took a punch.
Ouch.
It still drove, but it was it was rickets, as I like to say. It was rickety for the rest of the thing. But little three banger. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like big old straight three.
Yeah. Keep your foot off of it. I want to go sideways.
Yeah. It's a cool car, but what I'm thinking about, like a convertible old car, I looked at like a Austin Healey Sprite.
Oh, okay. So those would be cool.
Little putt vroom vroom machine. But there's a part of me that wants to get one of those new Ford Broncos, like one of the new two-door Ford Broncos. I want to get one of those like yellow.
Those are sick.
With the open doors.
Those would be, yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe possibly doing something along those lines. But I don't know. We'll know when we get there. I want to get a motorbike too. I have people like everyone, like my mom, and like probably wouldn't be too cool with it. And then like I have a friend that was just like, don't do it. You'll die. Don't do it. And it's like, it's the freedom of the thing.
Yeah, there's nothing really like it. I imagine I'm not for them. I'm scared of that kind of stuff.
I would love to go. My dad lives in northern Nevada, which is only like an 8-hour drive from
that would be amazing to
go
ride
through the
way
mountains
there.
and like the desert.
Yeah, that'd be something
on
else.
A motorcycle. Yeah. And the thing is, you can get motorcycles. I don't have to have like some beefed out Harley Davidson that costs $30,000.
No,
I get like a Yamaha or something, for like $2,000.
Yeah.
And like that would be just like the freedom bike. Of course, I get laughed out of a biker gang, but like I'm not gonna like be in a biker gang. But you can
ride away. They have to. They have to try to start the Harley or something. You just ride away. All right, see you guys before they beat you.
Get their old lady to start the Harley. Which they got to like forklift her.
They got to put on their leather jackets and all that stuff.
Yeah, I put on their leather jackets and their rings and stuff. Do you ever notice those
assless chaps? See, we need. You have to go with assless chaps for aerodynamics, I guess.
Yes,
and
ease of pooping, I guess. It's
no rest.
It's gonna be all dick and fart jokes, guys. Just FYI, just descend into that. Just hang it off the side of the bike and just let it rip. Well, let's see.
Nature will take care of it.
If the tire's rolling, oh no, it'd throw it right back up on you. The tire. Make sure you gotta get it like either.
Well, you're gonna wear glasses and a mask and because COVID, you'll have one of those plastic shields. There you go.
Oh man, this is like this took a turn. No, that's just kind of like I think that would be fun. Like a motorcycle sounds fun. Like the last thing I need is another toy, but
I'll take the bitch seat. I'm for it.
I know my wife would dig it. She kind of grew up around like bikers and stuff like that.
That's cool. We had a couple dirt bikes and moped stuff growing up.
Me too.
We had a pretty nasty accident. Me and my brother.
I've had several nasty accidents.
And I kind of grew out of it after probably the last time.
We had a Honda. We had an Odyssey. I used to ride 3-wheelers when I was real little.
Oh, cool. Yeah, those are cool.
Dirt bikes. But my big thing, being from Alaska, and I'm going to say this because this is how you say this, is snow machining. It's not snowmobiling. We're not in Canada. Even parts of Canada call it snow machine. But I snow machined hardcore. Like
That'd be fun.
Yeah, that was the best. That's the only thing I really miss about living in a place that is not Arctic, or with a monicum of snowfall.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because it's super fun, and it's
I bet.
I kind of relate it to like motorcycles and stuff like that kind of freedom.
Yeah.
But I like to go off the beaten path and go up mountain faces. And
yeah, that's still fun. You ever done like jet skiing or wave running?
Yep, yes.
That was my jam, man.
Yes,
that was fun.
yes, all of the above.
That is, for some reason with that, there's no fear.
I'm an adventure junkie. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, I get afraid, but it's that I get the fear. But the cool thing is like fear is like energy that it can turn into joy.
Yeah.
Like, and determination. Like,
yep, you got to keep
zip
going.
lining, parachuting,
Yep.
I'm into it. I'm like, fuck it, let's do it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, it's stupendous, and that's just the way I want to live my life. I don't ever want to be afraid to go out and do stuff.
That's fair.
I've been hurt. Yeah, and I know that fear. Like, it took me a while to get back on a roof again. You know what I mean? And it's, oops. Oh. But it got the fear, but it's it's not that big a deal, and I'll edit that out. So I mean, just to, like, in conclusion, it's just like another step in the direction of man-childing that I'm going to pursue at some point. New car, possibly motorcycle.
Cool.
You got anything cool coming up?
Not really a whole lot. Kind of touching back on the motorcycle stuff. For me, a few years back, before I was more into the music stuff, I had a couple cars that I was always working on and making them, trying to go fast. That adrenaline rush, when you're doing something you shouldn't be and just kind of hauling ass, that stuff is just unforgettable. I mean, I remember doing that and just getting a little shaky because, you're doing 100, 110 down some straightaway in Mexico and your buddy or whatever. And
it's freedom, though. It's absolute freedom. And, I mean, what more can we ask for?
Yeah, it's a good feeling. I miss that. So,
well, that's let's wrap this bad boy up. Hey Zeus, thank you for coming on the ManChilding is Hard podcast.
Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it. Just as a reminder, check out Sasquatch Boom and our other band, my brother's band, Stone Figure.
Yes, that's Sasquatch Boom and Stone Figure. Get them wherever you get your music. I'm sure it's on most of the things.
Yep, we're on Apple, Spotify,
Perfect.
Bandcamp.
Yeah. And same with here. Like and subscribe. Go to their pages, like and subscribe them. That kind of stuff helps us, get this stuff done. So we will see you later. And as always, be fantastic always.
Adios. Adios.